Hey, welcome back! J.P.'s World of Wrestling. I'm your man J.P. Now, if you were here last time, you saw me profile two different two different series of action figures. Well, today I'm doing one because I have quite a few. Well, not really, but more than the last time. So, after WCW produced the Galoos, they were kind of struggling to have their own action figure line because WWF was kind of blowing them out of the water at that point. So they came out with these. The WCW original San Francisco toy maker action figures. This here is Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan he was kind of a heel, and I kind of hated this guy because when Hulk Hogan joined WCW, this guy really was not happy, and this guy was Hulk Hogan's biggest rival coming in, and he kept saying, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy Hulkamania. I'm gonna destroy Hulkamania." And then he came out with his Dungeon of Doom, and he called himself the Taskmaster, and he came out with all these weird characters, and it was just really bizarre. It really wasn't a thing that I was really interested in WCW because to me it was kind of corny and campy, and I just wasn't into it. But that's Kevin Sullivan. Next we have the Giant, Paul White, the Big Show. Back then he was just known as the Giant. Now I like this figure a lot because it's really big. It's bigger than the other figures, and because sometimes, like especially with the Hasbros, they would make a figure who was supposed to be taller than the other guys, but really he was just the same height. So you had to kind of use your imagination, which was fine. I have an imagination, but anyway, that's the Giant. Pretty good figure. I like it. And then we have a tag team, the Nasty Boys, Sags and Knobs. Knobs here recently appeared at an autograph signing for Hulk Hogan. And it was a Hulk Beach shop. But the Nasty Boys, I really liked the Nasty Boys. I did. I thought they were great. I was highly entertained by them. And these are pretty good figures. This one, slightly better. Actually, this figure, this pose for this figure is just great. I mean, there's so much you could do with this figure. He's got a suplex arm, clothesline arm. You can DDT. You can do any move you want. Same with this one. You could do a lot with this one, but the hands are kind of open, which I'm not as much a fan of. But again, I have an imagination. So anyway, those are the Nasty Boys, and I like the Nasty Boys. Vader, Big Van Vader, as he was known in WCW. But Vader, I have to admit, this guy kind of terrified me when I saw him wrestle Hulk Hogan in a steel cage match at Bash at the Beach. Because they were in the cage, and Hulk was hitting him, and then he was looking at Hogan with crazy eyes like, "Nothing! Nothing, Hogan! You've got nothing!" And so I thought this guy was actually going to beat my hero, Hulk Hogan. Oh man. But Hulk prevailed. Hulk came out the victor in the end and was able to slay the beast. That is Big Van Vader. Sting, the Stinger. I've talked before about Sting with the Gloobs, but here is his figure from San Francisco toy makers. Original San Francisco toy makers, that is. Pretty good figure. You could do all of the Stinger moves that he did, and it's a good figure. I got these figures on eBay. Actually, yes, it was eBay. I got them in a big lot. All of them came together in one box, and I was happy the day I got these because I wasn't sure if I was really going to collect these. I didn't know how expensive they were, but I actually got a pretty reasonable price for all these. I think I paid less than $70 for all of them. And so I was happy about that. And so that's kind of all I have of those. I don't have the ring for those, and I don't really have a ring that really would fit those. I know they made a ring. It was kind of small. The interesting thing about those figures is that the same company that made those suddenly just stopped making those, and then they made these other figures that were still WCW figures, but suddenly they made them with like a joint in the shoulder, so the shoulder, like the arms would move, but you know, those figures weren't as big, so you couldn't really use them with those figures. And I don't know exactly why they stopped making these figures and went with the other ones. I don't know, but you know, I didn't work for the company. I couldn't tell you. So you might be asking about the shirt, Sucker Mania. Well, I live in Nixa, Missouri, and every year Nixa has a festival called Sucker Days. And it's kind of just a typical town festival with food vendors and craft vendors and little kiddie rides for the kids. And there was a petting zoo, I think. But this year, they had professional wrestling. They had a ring set up, and the wrestlers came out, and it was fun. And actually, WWE Hall of Famer and legend Cowboy Bob Orton was there. And I got to take my picture with him. I shook his hand. And that was fun. That was a big thrill. So coming up on this channel, next, I believe, I'm going to do a Survivor Series themed show where I'm just going to talk to you about my memories about the Survivor Series. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun because I have a lot of memories with WWF pay-per-views. So if you're new here, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.